Hey everybody, welcome back to Conscientious Omnivore. My name is Pal. I just want to give a quick update here in the winter. I'm going to be doing a few things, planning out the garden as I've told you guys about before. And one of the things is I don't even have an accurate measurement of the yards. I don't know how far across it is from here to here. And I want to kind of plan out where the beds should go and what trees should be planted. And as James Prigioni has been talking about in his series of videos about planting the food forest, one of the things you really want to do is kind of be out in your property, looking at it in different times of the day and different times of the year. And I think this is like a really great point that here. Mostly, I've been in the yard when it's summertime, and I had kind of figured by the way that the sun rises and sets and what have you that this area right here is probably the spot that gets the most sun and is the warmest. And you can see from the snow melting that that is generally true. This part is definitely warmer than here because this part is shaded out by the neighbor, and because it's uphill from us. And south is generally speaking that direction. So this area is definitely melting faster, and you can see the grass is bigger and everything over here versus here. But what was interesting that I didn't realize was that in this section here, this actually kind of tended to melt much sooner than the part here. I know it's kind of hard to see it now, but in other times I've been out, I realized that in the winter time, because the sun is traveling so low, this section actually kind of tends to melt a little bit sooner. So I think I might be thinking of putting some of my trees that are going to be less tolerant to cold, maybe even in this section, because in the summertime it doesn't matter if it's not as warm. But yeah, I'm only really worried about the trees not being able to get enough sun in the get enough warmth in the winter. So this area might actually be pretty good for some of those trees. But that might be the best still, because overall I think that's a better spot, and I don't want to be too close to the neighbor's house. So I might still be planting in some trees here where the raspberries are. We'll see. I got to really plan it out, and that's why the next step for me is I'm going to come out here and just measure things and draw it out to scale on paper, and then I'm going to start kind of planning it out from that. So that'll be the next step. Okay, cool. So the other day my wife and I went back and drew out all the property and kind of took measurements. And right now, it's just a little rough drawing on a notepad, but we've got all the dimensions and have a good idea of where everything is laid out, the existing trees, the elderberry bushes, etc. And what the next step is going to be is I'm going to draw this onto a scale drawing where everything is correct for the dimensions, and then basically we will have a good map of where we can draw in and plan for the things that we want to plant that are bigger, obviously, like the trees and bushes and things like that. And like I said just a moment ago, you really want to have a good idea where the sun is traveling in the different parts of the year, whether it's in the summer, and obviously the sun is traveling in a higher arc over your property, where things are going to be shaded, where things are going to be sunny. And especially in my zone, I want to be able to have kind of the most frost susceptible plants in the warmest places to try and maximize the solar heat, and potentially do some kind of creative sun traps with stones, or some kind of protective plants maybe to keep out wind. Sepp Holzer talks a lot about this in his book Permaculture, and I really encourage everybody, if you're planning out your garden, definitely read as many of these books as possible. I've had some good recommendations. I'll put some links in the description of where you can find some of these books, and there's a bunch more reading that I have to do. And I'll keep this video short today, but that's kind of my main point that I hope everybody takes away, is that if you're looking to do something like a garden and you want to think long term, like fruit trees and bushes, and not just the seasonal things that come and go like tomatoes and peppers, you really want to think the things through as much as possible. And there's a great thing that I think comes from the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I can't remember, but I think it comes from that book, where they say begin with the end in mind. And what that means is just for anything that's like a serious undertaking, you want to be able to basically plan it out, know what you want to get to at the end, and then work your way back from there. So if I know that, I'm going to be planting a certain type of tree that grows to a certain type of, diameter and height, and it's going to be too close to the neighbor's house, even though that might be the best place where I want to, put it from like a sun standpoint, it might not be good because I'm going to be having to cut it down in 5 years from now or 10 years from now. So, or, prune it too heavily or whatever. So, yeah, I think that's really, what I just wanted to share is that the work is continuing. I'm really excited about springtime coming at some point soon. Right now, we've got close to a foot of snow, so it's like nothing's happening, and I haven't been able to get out to do anything with the wall or anything else. But as soon as the weather starts, becoming a little bit more agreeable, I'm looking forward to getting back out there and finishing the terracing and doing some more layouts and just start laying out these beds and think of where the plants are going to go. I'll give an update sometime soon on some of the little seedlings. The apple seedlings are going pretty well. They're about yay high right now, and I've got a few pomegranates going as well, and a bunch of lychee trees. Obviously, those aren't going to go outside, but still, those are doing well. And I've got some new star fruit, alive and kicking as well, and some mangoes. So that's really cool. But really looking forward to getting some annual stuff and perennial stuff planned out as well, and doing a lot of reading, and gonna have to start buying seeds pretty soon. And so that's what I'm working on. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll keep this one short, and see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.